a lot of these online coaches,
Yeah,
there's a lot of the mainland ones.
for sure.
They're influencer guys.
Yeah,
Some of them
Big
look really
names.
good. Some names, yeah, they got, a couple million followers. Not even competitors, some of them.
yeah,
Some of them aren't even they don't compete, but they're pretty jacked, right? Maybe
yeah,
they used to do sports before, whatever. They're still in shape. And there's a lot of stuff going around of people. Oh yeah, he didn't get back to me or the program that I paid for. I didn't get what I'd asked for, and then he's ignoring my calls or ignoring my texts or, not getting back to my emails. I paid him all this money. Like there's a lot of that going on.
yeah. Okay, it's crazy.
All righty, it's Saturday and it's time for a paradise pump once again. Today we got John and Jed.
Mel will be here in a
Mel
minute. She'll be here in a minute.
Mel's gonna be here. She's running late. She's
She's
dealing with
she's selling
Hawaii
guns.
traffic. Hawaii traffic. No, I don't
she,
know.
she was selling guns.
She's making sure that she abides all the laws with all the traffic cams that we have now. So she's got to drive 30 miles an hour and stop at all the red lights, apparently. So, we don't want to get those tickets now, do we? They're
Yeah.
handing them out like Skittles, guys.
Yes.
It's
Tickets are
ridiculous.
no good.
Ridiculous.
Raise
Anyway,
insurance prices.
I know. And I love that they put all the speed bumps in, right? Like how many years ago? Speed bumps everywhere, and then to slow everybody down, and then let's lower speed limits by 5 miles in some areas, even 10, and then let's put traffic cams, red light cameras, and speed cameras.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck's going on, dude?
I don't know if it's true, but I saw this clip on Instagram. I don't know if I think it was in Hawaii, but those speed bumps that they installed, I heard
Yeah.
they're like
Oh,
$300,000 per speed bump.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
three hundred
Nobody even
grand.
wants them.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're horrible.
Yeah. They're terrible.
No, because I mean, some cars they cause damage, dude.
Yeah.
And then I know that there was, I guess in some parts of the island, people are complaining about them because the big trucks that just fly over them.
Yeah.
And I guess they're shaking the road and shaking people's homes and stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there was
That
one
does
guy in
horrible
Kailua
money.
wanted to get removed because it said his house is shifting. It's an older house,
Yeah, for sure.
It's a single wall,
Yeah.
and it like he was like showing it, and it's like it's just shifting it over time. Like the house is moving, like
Because there's
parts of
trucks
it,
hitting it all
because
day.
the trucks are coming doing 40 miles an hour over them, like
Yeah,
big,
for
big
sure.
trucks. They're not slowing down.
The lifted Tacomas.
So, well, no, not those. I'm talking like 16 wheeler, like garbage
Oh,
trucks,
crazy.
like
That's even
big
worse.
trucks. Yeah,
Yeah.
not pickup trucks,
Yeah.
like heavy.
Heavy duty
They're
trucks.
not slowing down apparently.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, like,
Yeah.
what? Who runs this? Who does this
Yeah.
stuff, dude?
I don't know. Speed
The
bumps, man. I
DOT
hate those
guy, like,
things.
what is going on? It trips
Right.
me out, dude. I don't know. Whatever. Whatever.
It's like they don't
I
want to
guess
fix the
he
potholes, but
went
they
to
want to put
college
speed
for it.
bumps.
So
Yeah. Right.
he's got this idea. What's funny is all these years, right? We never had this stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it seemed to be good, but they're saying that there's a lot of pedestrian accidents and deaths from it.
Yeah.
From, car, like pedestrians are getting run over, right? And to me, honestly, been driving on these roads for years. You know what it is? Freaking pedestrians don't watch what they're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody teaches them how to cross the street.
They don't know how to
sure.
cross street because I've even seen people.
Yeah.
The craziest thing is you're driving, there's two lanes, right? Going this way. Say it's a 4-lane road,
Yeah.
2 and 2. Say you're on this lane on the left side. Pedestrian over here, he sees that it's clear on this lane, but you're a little bit behind. He starts walking, okay?
Yeah.
And they just casually walk.
And just expect you to stop.
Expect you to stop, like,
Yeah.
and they don't realize that, okay, there are idiots on the road who
Yeah.
sometimes are texting, driving, or doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
You
It's
gotta
very
you gotta be
dangerous.
aware.
Yes.
And if to me, it's like this: if I see a car coming, I'm either going fast or I'm not gonna go. I'm
Yeah.
gonna wait till the car goes by.
Yes. Not casually.
I'm not gonna be
walk.
like, well, okay,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'll just walk. That guy will see me.
Yes.
Like, he's
Yeah.
probably not.
Yeah.
I'll take the chance that he's not gonna see me.
Yeah.
So no, dude. And that's why there's so many
Yeah.
fatalities,
And you're
dude.
kind of like rolling the dice because you don't know if that guy's texting. You don't know if
You
he's
don't
on
know.
his phone.
You don't know.
That guy could just be driving his big ass truck super fast down the road.
Right.
And just
And he doesn't
you're
see
like,
you. And
he's gonna stop for me.
if it's at nighttime, let's
Yeah.
let's be honest.
No, for sure.
Sometimes it's hard to see at
Yeah,
nighttime.
definitely.
Somebody's
Especially if
wearing
it's
dark clothes.
raining or
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Your mirrors, your windows are fogging up because it's all hot inside your car. 'cause
Yeah,
it's raining outside.
I'm gonna have to say the pedestrian issue in Hawaii is the pedestrians.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I've always said it. It's not the drivers. It's a pedestrian thing. You want to know why? Because Hawaii drivers, most Hawaii drivers, they drive slow anyway, dude. They
Yeah.
really do. Compare it to like the mainland drivers. Hawaii drivers, freaking irritatingly slow,
Yeah, for
dude.
sure. The speed limits are
Slow,
even
bro.
slower here. Yeah, yeah,
Slow.
for
So
sure.
pedestrians, they're
Yeah.
not looking out, dude.
And in cities like New York, I mean, people jaywalk all the time, but like,
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
they know
No,
that
oh, they don't,
cars
but
run
they are
the
aware.
road. Yeah, you know
Yes.
what I mean? So it's like, yeah, they're out here. It's like, I feel it's more of a driving city. So people don't have as much experience walking around the city. So they just kind of casually walk out there, you know? Whereas like if you lived in a walking city, you'd kind of be aware from walking around so much that there's all these cars and hey man, these things are weighing thousands of
Well,
pounds.
there is
You know?
another issue. One, I mean, people are on their phones, right?
Yeah.
Walking. Two, they put crosswalks in the weirdest spots.
Yeah.
Like you're going on a road, it's an open 4-lane road, and there's like a random crosswalk.
It's like a highway.
You're just
Yeah.
like highway. Oh shit! Like you got to
We're
stop.
going like 50 miles
Like
an hour
that's
down it.
this is Hawaii's
Yeah.
crosswalks.
For sure.
I don't even know why they put them there or what. It's just random spots, and I'm just like, I don't know. I've always thought, yeah, the way they put the crosswalks and the pedestrians. I think those are the two major issues.
Yeah, no,
That's
for
what
sure.
I think it is.
Do you
That's my
think the
personal-
slower speed limit causes more accidents?
probably. Well, because here's the thing.
It's really slow here. The speed
It's
limit on
no,
the
it
highway.
does. It's too slow because what happens is it causes people to just go, well, I'm not going to do 25 too slow. So they're still going to speed anyway.
Yeah.
They're just going to speed regardless.
Yeah, and like when you go out to like Eva Beach side, I mean, I know the speed limit picks up by like 10 miles an hour. So like if you're in town, it's 50 miles an hour. Out by Campbell Industrial, like on the freeway out there, it's 60.
Oh, for that
I mean,
little
Street,
strip.
it's
But still
65,
60,
right?
like in LA, like flying down or like going down the
65.
I-5 from like Northern Cal to Southern Cal. Like, I mean, people aren't driving 60 miles an hour.
But
They're
it's
going
not
80, 100. Yeah.
But it's not the freeway that's the issue here. See, that's the funny thing. It's not the freeways. Well, they're saying speeding, right? There's a lot of accidents, but that's because people are racing. That's different. They're doing 100 plus miles an hour, whatever. It's the inner city roads that they're having issues
You
with
know,
people
on
getting
top of
killed.
the subject of discussion, realistically as well too, after a certain age, I honestly think after a certain age, they should do a practical road test again.
Oh, for
Mhm.
sure. I
There you go.
agree.
Yep.
I totally
Right?
agree.
Because they don't. They just
Yeah.
they do the I thing and then they sign the thing and that's it. Like they don't even I don't even think you do a written test, right? There's no written.
No, I don't think so.
You just
Yeah.
keep getting it
Renew,
renewed.
you just keep
So
getting-
even that,
yeah.
you're not even getting the written test.
The only way you have to take the written test is if you expire.
Yeah.
And then you have to go back and get it. Then you have to do the written test.
After a
all over
certain
again.
age,
Mhm.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Because even my
Yeah.
dad, he's like 82. This guy should not be driving, but he drives still sometimes. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like,
I
mean, it's just
also, I mean,
McDonald's, but
to drive a point home with this as well too.
Drive.
and drive
drive.
a point.
No,
No
pun
pun
intended.
intended.
To drive a point home as well too. And I'm not just trying to pick on these individuals, but if you come from a foreign country, the driving standards from a foreign country into the United States are two different. They're apples and oranges. You know, we don't drive like that as well. So as well, when they're in pursuit of getting their driver's license in America or in Hawaii, they should, I don't know if they do, but I think they should incorporate some type of driver's ed instead of just like a transference of licensing.
Yeah, that would
So
make
you think
sense.
that maybe that's part of the issue here in Hawaii is a lot of foreign drivers?
That could be.
I
Yeah.
think it has
A
a
lot of
small
old
percentage.
drivers.
Yeah.
Well,
The
I don't-
old
we
and the
know.
foreign,
Hmm.
yes.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely old too, for sure. Guarantee. 'Cause,
Yeah.
man,
So, I've had a few like close calls.
Wait, how
with
does
some
this relate to
older-
bodybuilding now?
You know what?
Nothing
Hold
at all.
on, hold on.
It doesn't relate to it relates to bodybuilding, roid rage.
You know what a big
Roid
problem
road
is?
On the
rage.
road and roid rage
Yeah.
and road rage.
Yes,
Roid
there
rage?
go.
Do you know what a big problem
See?
is?
What is that?
Is people on their fucking phone.
Yeah.
That's
You'll go
another
to,
one.
You'll go to a red light and it turns green and nobody's moving.
Yep. Nope.
And
100%.
I'm always like, well, I'll just give them the benefit of the doubt. Then I get to the next red light and they're down on their phone like
You
this.
see it. Yep.
And then that's when I get angry.
I don't give a fuck. I beep my horn.
I do. And
I
people
give
like,
them
that's
2
rude.
seconds.
People
Yeah,
say
me
that's
too.
rude. I'm like, that's the
Yeah.
fucking point.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've
So you
been
get their
I've
attention.
driven by people behind them driving and you're watching and you're driving, 35 miles an hour, whatever you're going. And then they're all of a sudden they're kind of slowing and you're like, dude, there's no cars in front of you. And then they go normal and then they slow. And then you pull on the side and there he is like this.
Yeah, and they're reading.
And I'm like, you were doing that the whole fucking time.
What
You
can't
were
wait
not-
until you get to where you're going?
He's sitting there the
what's,
whole time.
what's so important that cannot wait?
And you know
until
who it is? You want to know who it is?
What?
Gen Zers, baby.
yeah,
Gen Z, I don't know. I'm just saying they always seem to look really young to me. Just saying, Gen Zers, come at me. But seriously, no, it's always younger. Like they look like they're
They
freaking
can't get off their phone and say
teens,
they're fucking lying.
teens, maybe early 20s. I
I must say though,
swear.
I'm guilty. I've actually like filmed a video of somebody here training, and I'm going home, and I have like a song in my mind, and I'm like, I've edited like videos for the gym Instagram in my car driving. It's kind
Mm.
of bad.
Damn, that's pretty
Wow.
Yeah,
impressive.
all the police
That's like
officers
the
watching
girl.
that.
That's
So.
like the girl driving, doing the scout.
I will not
Yeah, I
admit or
know.
deny that I may or may not be guilty of such alleged
Alleged.
Allegedly.
claims.
When I was in Mexico, I had done it. In Mexico, I did it
Yeah.
before.
In
No.
Mexico, I'm talented
Yeah.
at doing
Yeah.
it there,
Mexico,
but
I
in
do it all the
America,
time. Yeah,
no,
America, I don't.
absolutely
I never
not.
do it. No.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's definitely a problem and definitely does cause accidents. Because I mean, yeah, there's videos on YouTube where you'll see the person doing a selfie video, and all of a sudden it's like, and then they're like upside down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's
I mean,
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
they've videotaped themselves getting into accidents while on their phone. You know, like people. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I brought it up today because I just want everybody to make sure they get to the gym safely, and
yes,
And get
nobody
home safely
and
as
nobody
well
gets hurt and
too.
nobody has any roid rage and road rage, So we
Roid
want to
road rage.
Right.
road rage. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Again,
sure.
like we had talked about roid rage before,
Yeah,
and that to me is like it's such a stupid term. It's just I do believe that taking anabolics can make you more emotional
for sure.
and can make you maybe sometimes you fly off the handle. You don't think as much of the consequences in the moment. Yeah, I can see that. But I don't know. I don't just don't roid rage is such a it's such
Yeah,
a
It's a
negative
poor
term.
excuse.
It is.
Like,
It is a
oh,
bad.
I'm contest prepping. I'm dieting. Can't you
Right. It
see
is a
what I'm
bad.
going
Yeah,
through?
it is
On
bad.
top of all of these excess amount of testosterone hormones that's in my body, like,
Right.
fuck everything, fuck you, right? And it's a
Exactly.
very, very poor excuse for people who have very bad emotional maturity.
Yes.
yeah,
Grow
for
up,
sure.
please. If you're
Yeah.
gonna get
Yeah.
on drugs, especially gear, like freaking get well with yourself first.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I always think honestly, like, I mean, I could get mad. I don't road rage at all.
I've heard old stories of Mark throwing 45
In here,
pound plates around like frisbees.
yeah. But guess what? You see, this is my home. This is my environment.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's safe. I'm not gonna go do that out on the road.
Yeah.
I
You're not gonna
don't
go to
know what
24 Hour
that guy
Fitness
could
and
be
do it.
throwing around. He could be
And
shooting
yeah,
bullets at me for all I
Yeah,
this
know.
is
that's
your
true.
gym.
This
You're
is my
Yes,
gym.
yes,
you
yes.
yeah,
So if I want to do
you
stupid
can.
shit in my gym, hey, guess what? It's my gym. It's my shit.
That's very true. You
But out
bought the
on the
45
streets,
pound plates.
Self-contained,
yeah,
right?
I'm not gonna go. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go do stupid shit on the street because I don't know what that guy or that person has and what they
Right.
could do to me. So why it's not worth
Yeah.
it. But yeah,
But
in here, yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I've had my moments.
Yeah, we all did,
You know,
when we were younger. But
yeah,
as far as like what you're saying, you don't know what they have as far as that
you
roid
don't,
rage.
you don't
Yeah.
Like
know.
you don't know if the other person that you're taking it out on has a gun
Oh
nowadays.
yeah,
I
Oh,
mean,
for sure.
it's
or
getting
even I mean
crazy out
even
here.
knives. There's a lot of knife attacks too
Yeah,
now.
there is stabbings. That'd be,
It's
I don't
crazy
know.
because stabbings are thing about stabbings that I don't think people realize is like it could be to Mel, right? And the guy's
Yeah.
standing here, and a lot of times people feel like they're safe distance. In like a fight,
Yeah.
that would be safe distance. The
Yeah.
guy can't hit you.
Yeah.
But in a knife, it's just quick, man. It
And if
takes
you,
some 1 or 2 seconds. He's coming already, and where are you gonna go? You have to turn around and run. What are you doing?
yeah,
It's fast,
for
dude.
sure.
So you just don't know, man.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like
That's why
and
I feel like when I was taking Halo, like I had a little like,
Yeah,
I know, right?
everybody gets crazy on that
I
shit.
felt like I had a little bit like of a, yeah, situation where like I got into road rage and like I was yelling at this dude, and dude, I like followed him for like 2
oh
lights.
wow,
And that's not even in
wow.
my personality type. Yeah, I followed him 2 lights, and then like I was thinking to myself after, and I mean I was big and I have tattoos, so he was obviously like a little intimidated. But I
Yeah.
was thinking after that happened, I was like, man, I can't even fight. Like,
Yeah.
what would happen?
Yeah.
What would happen if like that
What
guy
if he
could
could fight? Yeah. What if he's a small guy that comes
Yeah,
out and he's like
dude.
ready and he's like, let's
Yeah,
go,
and
man.
he's
And
like,
you're
I'll be
like,
like,
oh shit, this guy
shit.
knows what he's
Yeah,
doing.
fuck you, man. You just get back in my car. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, I know.
Right,
Like
the
what?
dash.
Like
Fuck
what
you.
the
Yeah,
hell?
right.
I know. Oh yeah, that's the typical. They do the
Cute
reach
under the
down,
dash.
like they're
Yeah.
looking at you and they're reaching down, like
Yeah, for
they're gonna
sure.
grab something,
Yeah,
right? You're
right.
just like, okay. I don't know. It's not. None of it's worth it.
Yeah, not
None
worth
of
it at
it.
all.
It's all bullshit out
For
on the
sure.
street. It's all just stupid. It's not worth it. None of
Yeah,
it.
no,
It's just let it
definitely.
go. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you can get irritated. Just go away. Just walk
Yeah.
away.
You're a bodybuilder, not a fighter.
No. I mean, some guys can fight. They're
Yeah, no,
bodybuilders,
for
but
sure.
it's still not worth it. What if, like I said,
Yeah.
what if you beat the guy up and he has a knife and he stabs you?
But I bet they would fight way better, 20 pounds lighter and more flexible. I think so.
Probably.
Well, that's
Speed and agility.
that's what
Speed and
fighters are,
agility.
Yeah,
right?
right, right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what a
Yeah,
fighter
no,
is.
for sure.
But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So, we were actually going to talk about, uh, clients. I want to say clients that lie to their trainers, but also trainers that also lie. So, yeah.
Ooh,
So it goes both ways,
I
right?
like
Yeah.
It goes
this.
both
Lying
ways. Yeah.
trainers. Yeah.
Like, whatever. Lie, don't tell you the whole truth, withhold information, things like
Yeah,
that, all
for
that kind
sure.
of stuff, right? So,
Definitely.
I don't know if you guys have had some experience with that, anybody that
No.
you've dealt
Yeah.
with.
I've noticed some people will find ways to skip check-ins when they're not following their diet, and they'll come up with some bullshit. Um, or they'll, well, one week I'm sick, and the next week this came up, the next week that. Next thing you know, there's like 4 weeks in a row they've been making excuses. I'm like, dude, they're not following it.
Mm.
And honestly, I would rather them just say, "Hey, man, I messed up, or I don't want to do this anymore." Like usually, I just string it along lying.
People don't want to admit, like, people don't want to admit to failure, though.
Good point. Because I get that on several occasions where something come up, they're too busy, don't check in one week, then the next week, or they can't even. There's certain protocols, that I ask for in the check-ins, and they're very brief. It's not very hard, and if you can't even do that, or I don't know what the fuck you're thinking when you're doing check-ins with me. To be honest with you, if you do or you don't, I mean, it's not hard. It causes some stress, so I understand that. Oh, damn, it's check-ins again. Oh, my weight's fluctuating, or my period, or for guys, I don't know, whatever things that you guys go through that may have, you know, setbacks. And you're afraid to do check-ins because you might disappoint your coach or whatever. But how do you expect your coach to help you if you're not helping the situation either, you know?
Yeah, I used to enjoy checking pictures because I mean, I would personally like just take it in some regular ass lighting. I wouldn't look for the best lighting in the house to create shadows and like make myself look like, you know what I mean? I would just take it in the shittiest lighting, send it to my coach, and it would kind of almost like I knew I was gonna get like, and I sometimes I knew I looked better than I did in the picture because of the lighting and stuff, but I just sent it anyways because that negative feedback I'm about to get is going to drive me harder to get even better. And when he sees me in person,
Mm.
it's going to be like, holy crap, like this guy has been working. You know
Very
what I mean?
good point. So, like,
Yeah.
even with my check-ins, I would tell them as well too. Front, back, no flexing. First thing in the morning before you put
Yeah,
anything in your stomach.
for sure.
So you got the most flattest look on them,
Yeah.
the most shittiest look,
Yeah.
and most of the times, first thing in the morning, the lighting's crap as well too,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Yeah. So it's not hard, and you make a good point. When they do see you in person, you're like, oh shit, you're night and day. That's
Yeah.
awesome. We are on track or
Yeah.
ahead. That's great.
Exactly.
Do you
Yeah.
guys get mad when clients blame their kids for why they can't do shit?
Yeah.
I had that happen. I don't give a fuck. I'll talk about it. And I was like, "Hey man, wait, you can't." I was like wanting to get glucose or photos or whatever, and all he did was send me. He's like, because of her, and sent me a picture of his like kid, and my response was, "You are literally 7 times her size. Figure it the fuck out."
Yeah.
Like you're gonna tell me a little kid that's a seventh of your size is why you can't get shit done? Like what the fuck, dude?
Yeah. If it's just like taking a picture, like, like and your kid is the excuse, that's kind of a weird one, I feel.
A lot of people like to um
Yeah, right.
they don't like to take responsibility for
No.
themselves, you know? It's hard. It's the hard truth.
It's like I think about blaming your kids for shit. Like you're their parent, you tell them what to do. You're bigger than
You're
them.
the fucking
Fucking
adult.
figure it the fuck out.
Yeah, no,
Like
for
come
sure.
on.
See, I can honestly say like I don't have kids, so like I can't honestly say, but yeah, I mean I have cats. And
Mm,
it's like,
okay.
like sometimes I'm kind of like, oh man, like I might if my cat jumps in my bed, I might like cruise a little extra 5 minutes before I go to work or something. You know what I mean? So I can only imagine a little human being doing it,
I
but
have my people
yeah.
sending check-ins with their dogs in the background, or
Yeah,
the
that's
dogs are like
cool.
posting up
Yeah,
waiting to
Oh
be like,
yeah, I've
"Hey,
got
show me
those.
attention,
or
mom or
have your kid
dad."
right there in the picture
Yeah,
with
I
you and
have
just
them in
do your
there.
Yeah.
little like,
Just
I've
yeah,
had
it's no
people's
big
kids like
deal.
do the poses with their dad, the
Yeah, so
yeah,
photos
you
I
and
have
know,
shit.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, get
yeah.
them involved or something. That'd be cool.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but it's you
But
gotta
to
find,
blame it on the kid, to blame it on
yeah,
the
for
animal,
sure,
I mean,
definitely,
you've committed to this. Like how Jed was saying, the last time we were talking about the easy way to cop out of a situation to be like, oh, I'm just here for the experience.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure,
sure.
You're like, yeah,
yeah.
sure, of
But
course.
yeah, maybe they really are just there for the experience, but like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like going all in is the way to do it, but some people like that's just not their personality type is just kind of wishy-washy, half in,
Mm.
half out. They kind of do the hokey pokey with it, and they just want to be a part of the culture. You know what I mean? And like they just want to absorb like all the energy around them and
Then
be
be
around.
happy with
And
how
then
you show up on
yeah,
stage and your stage pictures and your placing, and be happy.
yeah,
Don't bitch about it if you're just
yeah.
here for the
Yeah,
experience.
for sure. Like, definitely don't bitch about it if you're just here for the experience. But yeah, like, if you're just here for the experience, like, I mean, yeah, maybe you should tell your
And
coach
in
that off from the get go.
retrospect as well too, if you're here for your pro card or your road to pro card, n- actually know what you're getting yourself into.
Oh, for sure.
Like really look at yourself with the rose colored glasses off to see whether or not you are in contention of actually, am I doing what it takes to even compete at nationals?
Yeah, for sure.
Am I doing what it takes to be a pro? You
Yeah,
know,
no,
instead of
definitely.
thinking, "Oh, road to pro," like
Yeah.
that's great. You got to, act and be, and your whole lifestyle has to emulate one.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, some people will do what it takes. They still don't change. 'Cause they don't have the genetics, and they have to deal with that. So that's something else you have
Yes,
to be ready
Take more
for.
totally.
trend, triple
Yeah.
down on the trend in the
I've done
halo.
plenty of trend.
Always,
Yeah,
always.
I've
I've done
done
a bunch of
Always
plenty.
trend too.
GH trend, insulin, triple
There's
down.
well, speaking of trainers that lie,
Yeah,
right? I've seen there's a bunch of videos on YouTube, Instagram, whatever, but a lot of these online coaches,
yeah,
there's a lot of the mainland ones.
for sure.
They're influencer guys.
Yeah,
Some of them will
Big
look really
names.
good. Some names, yeah, they got, a couple million followers. Not even competitors, some of them.
yeah,
Some of them aren't even they don't compete, but they're pretty jacked, right? Maybe
yeah,
they used to do sports before, whatever. They're still in shape. And there's a lot of stuff going around of people. Oh yeah, he didn't get back to me, or the program that I paid for, I didn't get what I'd asked for, and then he's ignoring my calls or ignoring my texts or, not getting back to my emails. I paid him all this money. Like there's a lot of that going on. I've
yeah,
been seeing a lot,
for
and
sure.
these guys are, I mean, I obviously these coaches, they're not doing it by themselves. Like there's other people working with them.
Yeah, for sure.
When a guy has like 5 million followers, like there's other people involved. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? It's not just him. Because there's you can imagine how many clients they have, right?
yeah.
How many people bought that program?
Because
Like
even
hundreds. I
Or a
mean,
lot of it is AI generated as well too, in this age
yes,
that we're in.
yeah,
a
Like
lot of
it's
it's
all. I
AI. Yeah.
mean, for as long as I've been around the competition industry, we already know the big names. A lot of them were getting cookie cutter diets
Mm,
because your body type, it's different from everyone else. So then why do I have the same diet program as you?
right.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. Everything should be catered to the individual. And yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of trainers out there that definitely do those types of things. Like even like Jeremy Buendia. Chris Casella, Tranquil Athlete?
Mhm.
He used to work for Jeremy Buendia. He
I
actually
do.
helped Jeremy Buendia out when Jeremy Buendia was popping off and had his like whole
Hmm.
little like, he was the man. He was Mr. Olympia. He had all these training programs and all these
Yeah, he
Jeremy.
was pretty big for a
Yeah,
while.
like Chris Casella and like three or four other guys were doing all the emails. They were
Oh,
like, yeah,
really? Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, like he was actually like helping Jeremy
Yeah,
Buendia out
it was
run his
just
whole
Jeremy's
thing.
name.
And it was
Yeah.
just Jeremy's name. And Jeremy would do like okay, with this package, you get like one Zoom or whatever FaceTime with me for
Mm,
like 10 minutes. He would
yeah.
do those because there's no way to fucking but I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was his team of people. And it was Jeremy Buendia's thought process and training methods and his ideas, but it was other people like giving it to them through the
Mm,
messages and like running the
okay.
website and doing all this stuff. So
Right.
and I think that's one thing. And there's also like some people, I think they just get big, like, you know what I mean? And they can't help, like, they're like, oh my God, this is like an oversaturation of clients. I didn't expect this. Like, oh my God. And then
Mhm.
now they're not responding back to people. And then like all this stuff's happening and they're just like in over their head, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of it too. So yeah. Maybe there's
Yeah,
a scam artist.
and you can
Yeah,
you
or maybe
can
it's a scam artist. Yeah.
you can tell which ones are in it for just the whole marketing perspective
Yeah.
of it versus actually individualizing custom protocols for clients, you know?
Yeah,
For me personally, I can tell which ones are there just to make money.
for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you're hiring a coach, is all he does is film himself like running in front of cars, with his
Yeah.
shirt off, boiled up,
Right.
and doing
With the
crazy.
with purge music in slow motion running around the corner, like
Yeah,
Is
and
that
like
all I'm supposed to do?
is
Shit, I'm
that's
gonna
it.
make some
And
money.
you look super
I'm gonna make
cool,
some
and you got
money.
yeah,
you put on cool little mask thing and do
Yeah,
all
right.
this stuff, and like,
and you dunk your face in cold
bro,
water.
that
and
guy. I
you
know.
like-
We're not even gonna say his name, but dude, I
I
just
heard
can't.
he did
I
that.
can't.
He
Yeah.
ditched with a lot of
Yeah.
people's money.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That
Yeah.
was one of them.
Yeah, for
That's
real.
specifically
probably
what I
gonna
was
be
talking about. There's one, but
lawsuits.
there's other people.
Yeah.
But yeah, and okay, yeah, that guy's got millions of followers, and we have like 9 followers, so whatever. But at least we're honest. You know what I mean?
Yes, for sure.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
genuine.
just so fun. I just think the
Yeah, right. And he's
boiled up, shirt off, running,
Coming
and the
around the
cars
corner.
kind of coming around. You're like,
yeah,
whatever, dude.
super
Anyway,
funny.
I'm just hating on it, but it's
No,
just
it's funny.
interesting. Hey, you know what? It's sold.
Yeah,
People like shiny,
People will buy
bright,
it.
shiny things. Like, oh, look at this! It's so
Yes.
cool. Oh,
Yeah.
that video is so cool. I watched that video 10 times.
yeah.
I love that
But
video.
however,
right.
if somebody needs that for motivation from doing nothing to something, hey, fantastic.
Yeah, it's all good. Whatever works, but too bad that people are losing money because of it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's the part that
problem,
irritates
right?
me, that they
Yeah.
actually, rug pull people for their money.
Yeah, like that's the problem. You can do whatever you want to do, make your reels and make some cool stuff right on. Hey, everybody has their own thing. That's cool. Like I'm just like hating, obviously, but because he looks good, he's fast, faster than me, and whatever.
We don't know if he's
You know,
fast though because he's always
He's
running
well,
in slow
he's
motion.
probably faster than me because I'm not fast. So
Yeah.
it's not hard to be faster than me, but yeah.
Fair enough.
So but anyway, yeah, and he's got cool clothes and shit. Well, whatever. But
He's got a nice apartment. In
yeah, he's got a
Miami.
nice apartment. Looks like he's living in Miami or something.
Yeah.
Like okay, right on. Drives a really nice car. Well, I have a nice car too. So
I mean, as far as the local scene,
yeah.
I mean, do you think coaches here over promise and under deliver?
Coaches here.
Yeah.
I personally, my experience, I mean, it seems like the coaches do a pretty decent job here. There are a couple of coaches that I was questionable about, that I kind of was like,
yeah.
and I was like, how did this person get clients, or get that many clients?
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
I'm like, oh, I'm kind of confused, but hey, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I had a local coach, and I mean, I feel like for my first like 5 or 6 shows, like he was there for me. Like, I mean, he honestly like was a friend too. So but at the same time, like, yeah, he was always there, and I feel like he delivered. At one point, he was coaching a lot of people, but like he moved on to different things. He's doing
Yeah.
other things now. But I feel like, yeah, I definitely had a local coach who delivered for me, who was there for me, who was there screaming at the show, like, like open up and like, all that kind of stuff. And like, I feel like being there for your clients is probably the most important thing. Like whether or not, like, I don't know. I mean, if you're not that knowledgeable, whatever, maybe hopefully you'll gain that knowledge in time. But like being there and they're paying you, like that's the main thing to me. You know what I mean?
Super cool. Like you were saying, how he was yelling, "Open up!" or like whatever.
Yeah.
I wish more of the coaches and family, friends, people, like the crew was there in prejudging,
Yeah.
and how important prejudging is
For
versus the
sure.
night show. Just
Oh,
the
guaranteed.
jitters, and then
Yeah.
you hear that one familiar voice. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
oh shit, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, do my thing.
My coach was like the loudest one in the room, and you guys know who my old coach
Yeah.
was.
I used to
I
do
was
it.
pretty obnoxious
Oh, I
myself.
used to
My
do it.
people
And he
know
can-
that I'm obnoxious. I had to
Yeah.
cut that out because I irritated people so bad. They're like, "No, shut the fuck up." I'm like, "All
Yeah.
right."
I mean, there was one show that I did that the other coach, we were yelling back and forth because her competitor was up there, my competitor was up there,
Yes,
and we were going
yes.
back and forth,
I
and we
do
knew each
recall.
other. But
Yeah.
it's funny,
Yeah, because
It's all good.
he's like, don't worry, you look way better than her, and you're like, what? No, no, don't worry, you look way better than her. You know, it's like,
You got this 51. No, 49. It's all you. It's like going back and forth.
All day
No,
long, baby. Looking sexy up
look
there.
at 49 thighs. Still got some fat there. No, I would never do that. I would never do that. Oh yeah, 51's got saggy boobs.
she's holding
I know,
water.
like,
She's
could
holding
you
water.
imagine? Oh, I would never do that. Though.
That'd be
She's
so funny.
holding water.
She's holding
Look at
water.
her
Look at
lower
her. Look at
back.
all water. Water everywhere.
Her tan's green. Who tanned her? I know, like so funny. I mean, you could, we never did that. We've never
That'd be
gone to
funny.
that level, but it's just more for fun, right?
Yeah.
But to help them out, get them inspired.
Like I've had friends that I'm yelling for even too at the morning shows, and it's my friend. I'm not even involved in like their
Yeah.
whole prep, but maybe I trained with them. But I'm yelling, and then like I'm like yelling. I'm like, yeah, man, you fucking got this. And they turn around, and then I'm just like, oh shit. Like, can you just stop yelling? And you're like, man, that other guy's gonna smash you, kind of, sort of. But
Kind of,
you
sort
know,
of.
but like, but and then he turned back, yeah, like you know
Yeah.
what I mean. But it's like I feel like that yelling. It does when I'm on stage and I can hear my friends yelling
It
or my
helps you.
coach yelling. It helps me because like I might not realize because when we practice posing so many times, we're looking in a mirror. Hopefully, your coach makes you do it not looking in the mirror a bunch of times. But like you might not know that you're a little off, and you might need somebody to cue you on how to position yourself. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially when you're working with a great, okay, not great, with a decent posing coach, and they're giving you these cues. It could be a little thing like foot squeeze, whatever,
Yeah.
like blow your arrow, like the little cues, because you hear that voice, you already know that cue, automatic. I'm gonna switch it on to this, or this is what
Yeah.
they're. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, because even Adonis, when he won the classic physique,
Yeah.
because I watched him and Chablis prep, and I watched him go through all this stuff. He was working overnight shifts and like having a hard time because anybody who works construction and body builds, you're built from a different cloth. I'm telling you, you're not sitting down at a desk all day resting your body. You're busting your ass in the hot sun all fucking day. And
working
then you
out.
got to go train. And then you got to try and get your meals in. Try working construction and
Or
telling your
blue
boss.
collar jobs.
Blue collar jobs. Try telling your boss if you're working a blue collar job, oh, boss, I'm going to take 15 minutes. I got to grind one meal and it's not even lunchtime yet. They're going to look at you like you're crazy. You know what I mean? So it's like, I watched them go through all that, and like he was on stage, and I remember he was in the side chest, and he has those little striations in his glutes, and I would see him hit it here all the time because I would video him in the gym all the time posing, and then I remember just yelling. I was like, look, he was like, glutes, Adonis, and he thought it was his coach yelling. He told
Okay.
me, but like right when I yelled that, he like kind of like sat on it
Yeah,
harder.
son.
Yeah.
And dude, like his glutes
helped.
started like feathering,
Yeah.
and I was like little things like that, and I yelled, "If I saw it, the judges saw it." I just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was right behind the
Yeah.
judges, so hopefully, like they saw that, But like I feel like my yelling, if I
Mhm.
didn't do that, those feathers
Yeah.
wouldn't have came out in the glute muscles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like the yelling is a
It
a
can.
good thing.
It can help. Yeah.
It helps. It helps, like,
Yeah.
shake off some of the nerves as
Yeah,
well,
for
too.
sure. Yeah.
Especially when you're
I'm like,
posing up there.
yeah, and man, we're battling it out. I know we all want to be like nice and no bumping the elbows and all this, but it's a battle, man. Like, I want to go out there with a good attitude, like it's me against me, but I'm like, fuck all these other guys. I'm trying to win. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So if you don't have that mentality, like, you're gonna go out there and kind of like half step it. You have to be like, bro, fuck this. Like, oh, this guy wants to like kind of box me out. No, fuck that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you. Sorry for cussing so much, but yeah, you have to have that like energy.
dog.
I feel
We swear on this. We swear on this show.
yeah, I know, right? But yeah, no, I feel
Yeah.
like,
No. I mean, well, like because you're competing.
Yeah, you're
right?
competing,
on
you know?
stage. That's what you're
Yeah,
doing.
and
You're
then,
But
like-
you
competing.
see it as well from my perspective looking up.
yeah,
If you're like, oh no, yeah, okay, go ahead, and you're a little bit timid, and you
Yeah.
like kind of not
Bow
bow
down.
down, but
Bow
you
down.
like a little,
yeah,
you see yourself, your aura, your everything just kind of shrink to that, and you're like, that guy's not turned on anymore. So
Yeah,
your
you know what I
eyes will
mean?
gravitate to somewhere else.
Yes, exactly. Like you need to like keep that chest up, keep your, you know what I mean? Just look confident
Yeah.
and like, you know what I mean? You can't like kind of just be like, oh, like, it's you're battling it out
Or
up
like
there,
when they
man.
say, like,
yeah.
I tell my people that I help all the time, know your number. No, okay, number 52, that's me. If they call, I'm gonna head to like the best box.
Yeah.
Or if it's two of you that are swapping, I'm stepping forward. I'm not stepping behind to be nice and like all courteous. Fuck that. I want the judges to see me walking
Yeah.
past.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. And to me too, it's like, I want to throw a show, man. It's not even going to be called first and second call outs. It's going to be called battle call out number 1 and
If
battle
you win,
call out number
if you ain't
2.
first, you're
Wow.
Yeah, and
last.
if you're like, it's a battle, dude, we're battling,
Wow.
man. None of this, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay for men's physique athletes in my show to not have a
You're
smile
gonna
on your
be like,
face. It's so you can
okay,
be like,
gentlemen,
yeah,
get to battle.
yeah,
Yeah.
get to battle in, and it's like, front. Like, I mean,
Wow.
yeah, if the guy's too close to you, hey, it's okay if you give him a little elbow. You know what I mean? We're not going to dock you points for that. It's okay at my show.
At your
Hypo-
show.
hypothetically speaking.
I see that a little bit. I see the
At
guys.
my
I
show,
see the guys
John's got a
Yeah,
like
show.
right.
square up with me. I see them like
Yeah,
trying to
right.
do that a little. I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, guys. Come on, come on, come on.
I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
give me some room, dude.
but
There's only
yeah,
3 of us up here, bro.
but yeah, it sucks though when there's a morning show and it's just like crickets, and it's like there's the energy
Yeah.
just seems so
Yeah.
dead, and then they're like turn around, and then nobody's yelling, and then it's like just their energy is just stale, and I feel like the night show, yeah, but I mean they already judged you by the night show, so it's like you know what I mean. They already have an idea of who's gonna win. If it has to be something drastic that's changing,
Yeah.
but
On top of we're speaking like it's energy, from the difference between your prejudging show and your night show, I will just put that out there for you NPC competitors here in Hawaii. I know firsthand that no matter what you placed in your first your previewing or your prejudging show, the night show, they're still writing down critiques on you. So if you ate that bowl of spaghetti and that extra large pizza and that
right,
hamburger steak plate with gravy all over, extra macaroni salad before the night show,
drank all
uh,
that water.
Oh,
they're
jeez.
still critiquing you. And or even if you didn't make first call out and you made last call out and you look like shit, I still recommend that you finish up the show. You finish, might not be the strongest, but you have a good attitude with
Yeah,
it,
for
Yeah.
sure.
because the judges, they know, they're looking, it's on paper whether or not you showed up for the night show as well too.
Yeah,
I mean, will it be held against you? Sportsmanship, maybe, but
yeah.
if you become an ambassador of the sport, is that the kind of like sportsmanship that you want to display? That you're a fucking salty ass bitch
Yeah.
because you didn't place well?
Yeah, or if you don't show up to the night show, you only did half the show. You
Yeah.
didn't even do the full show. You know what I mean? The show is the morning
Yeah,
show
you
and the
didn't
night show.
actually finish
So
the
it's kind
show.
of like if you're doing a rep and you just go halfway.
Yeah.
You just did half the rep, you know what I mean? Or if you just
Yeah.
like go up and you just don't control the negative and you just, like you just did half of the rep, you just did half of the show. You got to do the full show.
That's
Full
right.
rep every
Yeah,
time. You
I
know what
agree
mean?
with that.
Yeah, for
You need
sure.
to finish the show.
Yeah, finish it,
Finish
man.
up.
Yeah.
You know,
Unless
like
you're
get
injured or something, you know what I mean? Or you're
go through
sick
the
or
whole thing.
whatever, but
Go
yeah.
through it, finish it,
Yeah.
whatever happens, and then
Yeah, man, for sure.
there's more shows.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's all.
Speaking of shows, like I know you wanted to talk about as well too, the NASM certification thing.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they're
yes.
I guess NASM is allowing, or they're having a new cert, competitor
Bodybuilding coach.
bodybuilding coach. Yeah, bodybuilding coach
Yeah.
cert, I guess. So
Yeah.
I haven't looked into it too much, but I know that that's going to be a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, so you can, I guess you get the cert, then you're, I guess, certified to
Yeah.
coach
And I found
people
out
for
about
shows.
this by watching Tyler Mannion talk about it on his Instagram, saying that it's affiliated with the NPC and the IFBB. I'm not too sure.
So
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah,
But I
so
feel like, you can't just do NASM and get certified and then coach somebody even like in a gym recently. You know what I mean? They teach you stuff about muscle imbalances, about maybe a little bit about diet, a little bit about creatine or something. It's more of like rehabilitation stuff, I feel. You can't really apply that to a machine or to this or to that. You know what I mean? They don't teach you all these types of things. So it's like I feel NASM was leaving a lot of money on the table. This is just my theory, and that they probably offered the NPC a lot of money to like kind of like, hey man, partner up with us, like, we'll give you 5 million manions, we'll give you $5 million or whatever it may be. And then like, you can kind of like help us create the certification and we'll make money, you'll make money, we'll all be happy. And then now all of a sudden we have natural shows because, they can't talk about steroids in the NASM program. So it's like, the natural shows coming up coincidentally, simultaneously while this NASM thing comes up. To me, I think there's something going on,
something brewing.
That they're just not
Something's
talking
happening.
about, and they're behind the scenes. They connected up and had all these deals, and now there's natural shows. Now NASM is teaming up with the NPC. That's
Maybe.
just my personal
Yeah,
opinion.
maybe.
I mean, the natural shows, I'm glad that they're actually coming up
Yeah.
with everything that's been happening around in the world. We talk a lot about the food, water, and everything else. So, as far as
Yeah.
competitors want to stay as natural as possible, sure, that's great. And it's hard because a natural competitor trying to compete in the NPC against sauced up people, I
Yeah.
mean, to the
Night and day.
gills, it's very, very, very night and day.
Yeah.
And like, there will be like 2% out of the 100, right? That would actually be natural and fare pretty well, but
Okay.
that's because they're a genetic freak
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
and their work ethics are freaking on point.
Yeah, definitely. But I can definitely say that, like, like I've seen some of those natural bodybuilding shows on Instagram, not in person, obviously, but it's just not as fun to watch, man. You know what I mean? It's just
No. I mean,
like
I've
I
seen them.
didn't
I've been
see
to
I
them.
didn't see one bodybuilder with striated glutes. And these guys looked amazing from the front. They had like cuts. They looked awesome. Like, dude, they look better than me. You know what I mean? But like, I'm natural now too. So like, I can honestly say like, you have to be really disciplined with the diet,
Dude,
the over the counter supplementation. You have to sleep. It's
I've
probably way
done
more
natural shows.
strict,
I've done
on
natural
what
And
you
the
have to
shows.
WADA
be. You know what I mean?
prohibited list is huge. It's like even over the counter supplements, you have to be wary
It's
on what you're
That's
taking.
crazy, man.
Let me
Why?
tell you, it's shitty. Doing natural
Yeah.
shows suck. I've done a couple of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do a natural show. Let me
So
do natural.
Mark comes off cycle for 2 months.
Longer than that. But I did it, the way you're supposed to. I just use trend. That's it. No, just kidding. No, yeah, and it's different, dude. It's different. Your body doesn't respond the same, and it's definitely way difficult to come in dry and hard
Yeah, for sure.
when you're not on any gear. Like
Right.
it's really difficult. So
Did they let you use
I didn't like it.
diuretics? No.
No,
No, nothing,
nope,
dude.
nope.
You can use herbal
You
diuretics.
can you
Yeah.
can't even use
Oh,
Broncaid.
man.
You can't even use HCG. You can't
Wow.
even
No,
like
yeah,
that
none
water
of that.
prohibited
HCG.
You
list
can
is
use
freaking
over the
long.
counter stuff.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
can buy it in Long's Drugs, whatever, over the counter, like you can GNC, whatever, you can
Designer
use it.
body kind of questionable. No, no.
Kind of, yes.
No,
Well,
I
because like SARMs, you can't use
no.
Yeah, for
SARMs. Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that's what I was about to
Right.
say.
So
I really recommend
you
that you go
can't.
through the water prohibited list to see
Crazy. That's
what is
nuts.
Yeah,
applicable.
Man.
it's lame.
Yeah.
It
It's,
is lame.
I mean, well, it's just because there's so many. It's just like, dude, like I don't know, like
Right.
whatever. It's just so many things you can't do any of it. It's like, and then unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I'm sure there's guys that are competing in those divisions that are still doing stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
I'm not
absolutely.
saying they're loading up on gear,
I
but they're
mean,
doing things.
there was
Yeah,
a big
for sure.
expose on it before that went viral on social media a few good years back about a female competitor that was taking gear. Her emails got leaked about what she should be cycling off before entering one of these natural shows.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's a big name competitor.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So, and they're trying to say that, that was all like all fraudulent and so on and so
Mm.
forth, but then it was from a reputable coach as well too.
Oh, I see.
That was like,
Man.
yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
But
That's not
why would you even want to take gear when you're competing in a drug-free show? Like, why?
Because they
Like,
can't cut it in the freaking regular
right.
NPC
I
IFBB.
don't know. I'm just
It's kind
like,
of like
nobody
it's
cares
kind of
though
like
about those shows.
the dude in college who like swam in the pool with men his whole life, and then all of a sudden like doesn't get a surgery, but just says he's a female and like he enters the women's contest.
And kicks ass.
Yeah, and kicks ass. That's the same thing to
It's
me.
the
You know what I
same
mean? If you're
thing.
gonna do a natural show, but you're doing gear, like bro, like it's. I mean, I don't believe in like cheating, but dude,
Yeah.
like you're a cheater, bro. Like it's why
Yeah,
are you even
that
doing this?
that
Like
I
you know
would
what I
say
mean?
is cheating.
Yeah,
Yes, that
why
I
are
would say.
you going through all this? You know what I mean? And getting back to that whole SARM thing too, even like remember Ryan Garcia?
Yeah.
Everybody made that big thing. They're like, oh, he tested positive for Ostarine. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Ostarine? That barely does anything,
That's
man.
weak.
That's
And then
not
he
that's not
needed to take a copious amounts of Austrian in
yeah.
order for him
And it
to
was such a
pop.
tiny amount in
Yeah.
his yeah. And like I was like, bro, what? Like Ostarine? It's like that. You ever see that meme on Instagram? That Muslim guy. He's like, brother, ugh. Like that's
Brother,
a
brother.
Ostarine. You know what I mean? That's what girls take. Like I don't even like it. To me, I was like, that's why. But I don't know, man. That's why I feel like
Mm.
for natural shows, let them take a little Ostarine or something at least. I don't know. Like,
No,
You can't even take T3 even if it was
nope,
prescribed.
nope,
yeah,
nope.
yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. Like, yeah, some of the organizations are super strict, man.
Yeah,
So, no, I'm not into it, but hey, whatever's.
yeah, right.
Whatever's.
So that NPC And NASM thing is saying if you get certified through the NPC with the NASM, now you're a bodybuilding coach kind of, or is just you can.
It's like you have the certification, like it's like any other
Oh,
certification. So
okay.
it's lame. You know what I mean? It's a money grab. You know what I mean? They're trying to make money and trying to create this thing where more people are going to be like, because there's so many coaches out there that are NASM certified, but they couldn't, and they've
Well,
been training people, but they can't train somebody for a bodybuilding
I
show.
think
You know?
what that's gonna play into, it's gonna work into like 24-hour fitness and LA Fitness, the big
Yes.
box gyms where you have trainers there
Good point.
and they go, hey,
I'm
we
bodybuilding coach
have,
certified.
we have Tony over
Yes.
here and he's bodybuilding
Yeah.
coach certified. You're gonna do a show, he can coach you.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, he's
Oh,
certified?
when
He's certified.
the
Right.
corporate trainers start getting
Yeah.
into bodybuilding coaching, that's just gonna
It,
fuck
Dude,
things
that's
up.
where it's
it's gonna
going.
happen,
It's gonna
dude.
happen,
Watch
Why
it.
dude.
not?
That's
It's
a
They
gonna
good
can
point,
happen.
they
Mark.
can get diets off of fucking Chat GPT.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Right.
I've heard people use Chat
Yeah.
GPT to prep for this
He
past show.
Yeah.
knows.
I
He
know.
knows
Yeah. I
somebody
know
really
somebody.
personal
Yeah.
that did it.
Yeah.
That did
Yeah. Chat
the last
GPT.
few
And you
weeks.
know what's crazy? Like when she showed me what Chat GPT was telling her to do, I was like, like that sounds kind of okay. Like, I mean, I'm not looking at you in a video or in person, and I'm not a coach, but I've done similar things. So obviously Chat GPT has picked up on the bodybuilding coaching. So in the future it's only going to get even crazier.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean yeah, it's smart, dude.
Yeah, I heard
It'll help.
AI can like in pretty soon they're gonna have technology where AI can tell you what your dogs and cats are saying to you. So I mean, if that's if that's like for real, like
Do we
man,
want that though? Do we really want to know what our cats are saying?
Maybe.
I
yeah,
think you
Like,
might know already,
yeah,
right? You
right,
don't need it. You don't need that to know what your cat's saying, do
yeah,
you?
So
right.
as
I
far
know.
as like Chat
We're connected
GPT
already.
and coaching, do you think as far as you guys being coaches, you guys should be open to using that as a means of resource for your
Yeah, I would.
competitors?
I would use it. Why
Yeah,
not?
and then compare it to like what you think,
Yeah,
too.
exactly. I would
Yeah,
use it if there's
yeah,
questions. I would ask it and see what it does. It's not like, I mean, it's just like anything else. If I Google something, right? I'm gonna
yeah,
Google how I used to Google,
exactly.
look that up. Well, I would ask it and then see what it says and be like, okay,
Yeah,
and then I can compare it with other things. But yeah, why not?
yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
How
Technology.
to use trend? How to cycle
how to
trend?
use
Yeah,
trend.
right. No, I guarantee you, it would spit
How to
something
Trend.
out,
cycle
man.
Trend
trend
is an
and
illegal anabolic
halo?
steroid.
Yeah,
I wouldn't recommend it, but if you would like to know, that's kind of what it does.
yeah,
It'll tell you that. But if you really would like to know, here's the information that we found off the
Is
internet.
trend
yeah.
safe for women?
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's not advisable for women to take Shred. That's what it would
Right.
tell you. I've used ChatGPT a lot. I tell you, it's what I do like about it though now is it'll ask you questions after you ask questions. It'll answer it, then it'll ask you questions.
Yeah.
Would you like me to further discuss this about this, this, this? You're like, yes,
Yeah.
and then they'll go into detail. Would you like me to print out a program for you? Cycle for you? Yes.
Yeah.
It'll do stuff like that.
Crazy.
Yeah,
So
it
I
will.
mean, kind of maybe stupid question because I'm only knowledgeable on like what I do, you know what I mean? But like for women who do gear,
Mhm.
I mean, obviously say like, would a woman do like 500 tests a week type of
No,
thing?
no,
Do
no.
they
No.
take smaller, tiny
Yeah. Well,
bits
they
of
don't.
everything?
Okay, women typically they
And even
don't really
Anavar
use
dosages
tests.
are way
Some
different for
women will
men.
do tests with
Allegedly,
like 10 milligram, low like that 5-10 milligrams type of thing. But
It's like how many cc's are you blasting a
see,
week
it's
if
not
you're a pro?
CCs.
it's not
It's not
It's
CCs.
CCs.
not even.
It's based off of milligrams. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, because they're not even using CCs. Yeah, it's very low dose.
Unless like I
Wow.
mean, to be honest with you, I know personally a few females in prep cycles, they may allegedly had dabbled with ACC, and a half
oh my god.
of
Oh,
I mean, I'm talking about people
primobolan.
that are using it correctly. I don't know.
yeah. Oh, so they just
I just
crack the cap off and smell it, and they get big. They're like,
Yep, and it's like this,
I
John,
know,
like
right?
this, John, look,
I know.
bing. But
Yeah.
no, yeah, like taking 200 megs of test sip a week, a female doing that, that's crazy to me. That's
For
like,
real?
okay, oh
Wow.
yeah,
That's
dude,
like
you're
TRT.
gonna get some side effects,
That
bro.
on top of Anavar,
Yeah,
Yeah.
some Deca in there,
Right.
some Winnie, like, oh yeah.
on top of
I could see maybe
Winnie.
Winstrol.
But
Yeah.
but Winnie will give some
Yeah.
bad side effects,
No
dude.
way.
Like, oh yeah, like Winstraw for women
Maybe because I'm a
is like
guy.
two
I
and a
don't know.
half milligram, like 2.5, 5 milligram is
Two and
like
a half.
fire. Like that's what I'm saying. It's a
Yeah.
very low dose. Like men, it's like
Yeah.
50. You know?
Yeah, I'd
Or
do
even
50.
some men doing
I would
10
do
is
50.
a lot on top of whatever else
Yeah.
that you're stacking on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, because you don't really coach women. So,
Yeah, I
but
don't.
it's very, I mean, depending on what they want, right, and how
Yeah.
crazy they are. Because there are
Yeah.
women out there, like she said, they're just willing to go for it all, and they don't care. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
I'm
just
willing to
know
go
you're
for
gonna
it
turn into
all.
a dude. But if that's what you want,
What if
Right.
some guys like that stuff out of their women?
Yeah.
some do.
Like the
There
little
is,
soldier
yeah,
down there.
yeah,
Right?
little soldier. There you go. Hey,
Right?
Some of guys like that
some
stuff,
guys
you
like
know?
the sword fight action. It's
Like
cool,
she has a
man.
piercing. No, that's just her enlarged clit showing through her spandex.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, oh,
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's a big
yeah.
one.
I don't know.
I mean, look at people like, I mean, I'm not trying to like mention names. I mean, we don't know them, but like Iris Kyle, for instance, like, man, yeah, she looks so crazy. You know what I mean? She looks like a man, basically. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm wondering like how much gear she took to look like that and get like that and have those types
Yeah,
of side
I don't,
effects. You know what
I
I
don't
mean?
know, but
somebody seriously, like, legitimately straight faced asked me, "Oh, do you think she's natural?" I was like, "What?
what?
Wow.
What? Really? Come on,
No
Is she a
way.
10-time Olympian winner?" Yes, she is.
natural,
Right?
please.
Yeah,
Come on.
no,
I
there's
couldn't answer
nobody
that question. I was
nobody on
just
the
like,
Olympia stage is
Well,
natural.
if she was, she would have been claiming it the whole time. Believe me, she would have
That's a
made
good point.
sure. She would have
Yeah,
made sure everyone knew,
right? It's like
and
vegetarians.
she would have been like, give me a test." Just like
Yeah,
vegans, right?
yeah,
Vegans, they want you to
yeah,
know, right?
yeah, they
They
do.
always want you to
Yeah,
know.
right?
Yeah, I know.
Like, oh, you want some of this? Like, they can't just be like, oh, no, I'm good. They're like,
I'm
and
vegan.
vegan.
Yeah,
Oh, shit. Okay.
it's like
Yeah,
the whole crowd's like, oh, okay.
yeah.
Everyone at dinner is
You
like,
could have just
oh,
said no, thank you.
yeah, I
Like,
know.
right? Yeah,
They have to announce it.
yeah,
Yeah, they even wear shirts. I
right.
think
I'm natural.
something that
Yeah,
says
right.
something with vegans.
Yeah, and
They
then
won't
that's
say I'm vegan, but it'll be something about a vegan
and then
ship.
it's
I can
funny
see it.
because like the people who are on gear, like like influencers and all this stuff, and like people make all these, yeah, that's just all from steroids, and that's all like, you know what I mean, blah blah blah. I've even had people comment that under my stuff and when I post things back when I was like in shape, you know what I mean, and like taking stuff and bodybuilding, and they don't realize that like to the person who's actually doing it, they're like, fuck yeah, that's what I'm going for. You know what I mean? But
Mm.
they think they're like they're getting you. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like they're getting you, and
yeah,
they're getting under your skin, and you're just like,
yeah.
okay, thanks, man. You know,
"That's the point."
but like people who are natty looking at other people, it's almost like this hate, you know, like they discredit them
Mm.
for everything that they've done just
Hmm.
because they're on steroids and they're like, this guy's not natty. You know what I mean? Like he's a cheater. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, he worked way harder. He ate way more food. You know, he spent more time in the gym. You know, he's has more drive and more energy, you know?
So speaking of women that's been masculinized, or viralized via steroids, I mean, you guys are all bodybuilders. You guys see it a lot. Do you think that uh, it's attractive because of their work ethics and they work so hard to attain this look, or are you guys more of the feminine, loving type of dude?
Are you talking about our sexual preference now? Okay.
I-
No, getting a little bit personal here
you can
now,
go
but
first, Mark.
that's fine. No, I mean,
Yeah,
this
it's
is what we
fine.
do.
Like how you like
We do
freaking
get personal
linebacker
here.
as a chick,
We do get
Yeah.
personal here.
like
You know, it's
Yeah.
all good. No, I don't mind. Um, well, me personally, I'm not into the super masculine ones, but there are some women that have muscle and they are very feminine still. Like they hold themselves very,
Yeah.
like a
very
lot of
well,
the wellness division
very
girls
feminine, but
Yeah.
they have muscle.
and
Yeah,
bikini
and that's
girls.
attractive to me. Like
Yeah,
I'm
for
like,
sure.
yeah, okay,
I think wellness is a good look. I like the
like
wellness
yeah,
look.
but
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you were like choose Mark or something, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'd probably tend to choose more of the smaller feminine women.
Yeah,
That's
for
just me
sure.
personally. But yeah, like the wellness girls and some of those girls, like they hold themselves in a certain way, and it's still attractive to
Yeah, like
me.
Francine, what's her Francielle? Like that's her
Yeah,
name,
Matos,
Francielle
yeah.
yeah.
Matos. Man, she's beautiful.
But yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm not into like
yeah,
super muscular women. That's
yeah,
just not me. I'm not into it,
Why?
but
yeah.
I mean, in the event of
it's
an
just not a
emergency, they
thing.
might
But
be able to
Right.
carry you out of the fire.
yeah, I guess. I
They
guess.
might save you
Well,
from a
I'm not
burning
saying that it
forest.
doesn't look good.
If you
I'm
ran out
just
of
saying
Anavar, they might have some extra.
in a romantic relationship, it's not really my preference. Like
Yeah, I can see that.
I can admire it and I
You
can be
guys
like,
can
wow,
hit
she
each
looks
Yeah,
other
good.
in the butt,
yeah,
Oh no, like believe me, and it's funny because women bodybuilding, I always appreciated it. Like I was like, man,
Yes,
like
I
yeah,
dude, she
appreciate the
looks
work.
crazy. Like
Yes.
wow, like I want to get my back like her back. Like
yeah.
I was like, she's gonna beat me in a show. Like if I went up against her, like
Oh, for
I look
sure.
at that and go, wow, and I do appreciate it. But for romantic relationship type of thing, dating, like yes, some of that is just not my it's not my thing. It's like
Yeah,
okay,
no, for sure.
no, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I definitely appreciate the look, for
Yeah,
sure,
no,
That'd
dude.
be
I agree.
interesting, like rubbing a hard body like that as you as a man. I'm just saying I'm interested. Like,
Yeah, baby,
Okay.
can you
Well,
massage my
I'm
traps?
yeah. Yeah. I
but
mean,
if it was your tea, if it
I
was your
have
tea,
I
Yeah,
have so just
yeah,
I've had a couple of experiences
yeah.
with
Like I can honestly
some
say,
muscular
like,
women, and it's cool,
yeah,
but
there's even like girls who like I see here, you know what I mean, who are real muscular and like for instance, like I like Amanda's look now. Like Amanda is going for like wellness now, right?
yep.
I
well, I don't
like.
think she's competing anymore.
Oh, she's
But
not.
Yeah.
she's
But she,
going for a wellness look.
a
Yes,
wellness
Mm.
look, I feel.
Yeah.
Like
glutes.
I feel Amanda looks a lot like she was always attractive, but I feel like her look now is like a good look, like
Mm.
compared to like when she was bigger and more
Okay.
muscular. You know what I
Okay.
mean? She still has muscle on her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she still looks great. You know what I mean? She's not muscular, but like I think she's an example of somebody that has muscle that's attractive.
Angela.
Angela, man, she has muscle, you know what I mean? And
Mm.
she's super attractive. Like I just saw her today. Jed was training her. She looked good, amazing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, because there's
And she's
levels to
50.
it. There's levels
Sorry,
to it.
Angela.
You
I didn't mean to
see,
say that.
there's
Yeah.
levels, right?
Yeah.
Now, when I think what you were talking about muscular, like I'm thinking
Irish Kyle.
like that, like
Yeah. Okay.
pro Olympia
Yes.
level,
Andrea
Okay.
Shaw.
yes, that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Because there's different levels, right?
Yeah, for sure. But Angela's back
So,
is kind of crazy. Like if you look at it,
but
like
and
yeah, she's got a crazy
yeah,
back.
and a lot of these, I mean, like figure girls, for instance, like figure
Yeah.
girls to me, that's good. Like
Yeah.
they're muscular, but they're not bodybuilders.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
they still tend to carry that feminine look,
Once
and
you go
they
barefoot
still
and
have
you like
muscle.
like
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
different.
damn, that's my division.
Hey,
no,
that's her
no,
division. I know.
no, no,
That's different,
no,
right?
no, no,
Damn.
no, 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 no.
Yeah, so it just
Dude,
depends.
Mel,
It's individually, it depends on just it's
yeah,
all dependent, right? So
Mel was diced. Like, dude, yeah, like that
Mhm.
picture like you would post of your like, I think it was check-in pictures. It was in your house. That's why I think those pictures diced. What
Mhm.
was your cycle, Mel?
No, it's like
Creatine.
starts off with creatine. So technically drug free.
Yeah, right. Natural.
Natural,
Yeah.
natural.
Oh,
Yeah, so
but no,
you're
like
natty.
Mel
Okay,
looked
great.
crazy back
Great.
in the day, dude. Like straight up.
Freaking
Yeah.
about this creatine. She took trend. I know
Yeah.
she
High
did. No,
protein diet and creatine.
I know
Hey
she
man,
did
I feel
trend.
like for women though, like you can accomplish a lot with high protein and just creatine, honestly. Like, because I mean, if you're just gonna take like this much testosterone to get some effects, I mean, obviously, I think just eating a high protein diet, taking creatine and working out regularly and eating good will do enough for you to get enough muscle where you'll like, you know what I mean? You'll look good for a woman and still be feminine and I don't know, still be able to kind of like,
Well,
yeah.
it depends on what you're trying to
So that
do.
was my thing. Like
What are
my
you trying
thing.
to
Yeah, maybe
do?
like
Yeah.
not on stage. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Right.
I
Exactly.
think bikini girls, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, if you dial the diet
Did
in,
you? Oh, man, it's getting worse though. To be honest with you, even if
yeah,
they're taking little doses
yeah,
of whatever the secret magic might be, but they're taking it for long durations, you start
yeah,
hearing it in the
You
voice.
do.
You start
yes, you
seeing it
do
a little
totally.
bit like
You see it in the
Yeah, the
jawlines and
jawline.
stuff.
even for
Yeah.
bikini girls, you start seeing the changes, and
Because they're on it too long, most of them. They're doing, oh, I only
Yeah,
do 10 megs of VAR, and I'm like, yeah, but how long have you been taking that?
year
6
16,
round.
months?
16
6
weeks.
months,
Like, you're
whatever.
like, holy moly.
Yeah, 10 megs of VAR is not that much, but keep
Yeah,
staying on it. It adds up. Yeah.
right.
So,
Like, that's the thing is like, I feel like the bikini look, like, you can achieve that without, I mean, if you want to do drugs, that's your call. You know what I mean?
well,
But
bikini body, yes, you
yeah,
can achieve it.
for
Yes, if you
sure.
train hard, you
Especially if
eat
you're in like
good.
your early 20s, didn't have a kid. Like,
Competitive bikini body, though, that's different, dude.
yeah.
Like NPC competitive bikini body, that's different.
And I feel like you have to have genetics for bikini. Like, not everybody is cut for the bikini division. Just because you got a bikini on doesn't mean you can do bikini. You know what I mean? Like, they're frail. Like, you see rib cage. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to have that narrow, small little waist. You know what I mean? Like, and some girls they want to compete in that division. I feel, but it's like you should be doing like wellness and like, but you have to train harder for 2 years first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of them fall short. Like to be honest with you, as far as their what they should be for their division. Bikini, they get it miscued. I mean, there is like you gotta have some caps, you gotta have glutes, like whatever they want to justify as ham glute tie-ins. It's not a
Mm.
thing. Anyway, you gotta have glutes, some, like a shape. You can't just be a skinny twig up there with
Yeah,
like a small waistline. No, there's a
Well, the fit model
criteria.
now, right?
definitely.
So that's why we have the fit
Yeah.
model. The fit model is actually that. And the fit model of today is the bikini winner, like a Natalia Mello body back in the day when bikini first started. If you look with the evolution of time.
Yeah. Man, yeah. If you go into designer body, there's some old pictures. Actually, an old picture of Angela, old pictures of Mike Dragna, Mai Tai, even Brian.
I
Dude,
got one up there.
Brian
I got
was,
one up there with my tie.
yeah,
Yeah.
you do. Yeah. I think you're next to a motorcycle or something.
Yeah, yeah. It was the
Yeah.
Harley thing.
But I mean, even Brian back in the day, he was diced, man. But I feel like, yeah, like bikini girls, I don't know, man. Like you don't need to do that much drugs. I mean, if your voice is changing and you're doing bikini, like you're blowing it. I don't know,
Yeah.
right? I
You're
don't know.
blowing it. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like you're not even in the wellness division or something. You know what I mean? Like if you hear that girl Francielle talk, like I've heard her on here Instagram. I can't
Mhm.
understand what she's saying. It's in Portuguese, but so maybe I'm just don't speak the language, but it sounds very masculine. Even Giselle Machado, I think she's on
Yeah,
the dark
yeah.
sport. She was second or third in the world. Like she
Yeah,
looks pretty,
Portuguese
and
though
then you
tend to
hit,
have a deeper, like their
yeah,
accent tends to be
and then
like I
her
noticed that.
voice, and you're like, oh my god,
But
it's so deep.
it's a cracked,
Yeah.
it deep voice.
Yes.
It's that
Like
anabolic
you can tell,
androgenic
yeah,
voice. It's
Right.
not
yeah.
just
It's
a
not
deep
just the
voice,
accent, yeah.
or it's not just a raspy voice. It's
Right.
that
Yeah.
andro.
Can
Yeah.
women get? I mean, gyno is that the thing with women? Gyno?
No,
That's
what?
only men.
Yeah,
Okay.
with the estrogen, so the women get the opposite: the facial hair, the
Yep.
See,
acromyalgia,
I'm
the
learning.
hair everywhere,
Yeah.
Yeah.
enlarged clit,
Yeah.
the thickening of your voice cords.
Holy
They can get sensitive
moly,
nipples though. Sensitive
man.
Sensitive
titties. We call it
nipples.
Yeah.
sensitive titties.
Some of the girls do like get the
The hair loss.
male pattern balding, the hair
Yeah,
loss
the hair
in that
loss.
halo
Yeah.
area.
That's not
That's
good.
crazy.
Yeah. Once
That's
that
not
starts
good.
happening, dude, like
That's
you
not
gotta
good.
just quit. It's like, I
Yeah,
don't know. How
man.
bad do you want it? I'll go bald for this shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Ugh,
Yeah, men, I
ugh.
can see because I mean we go bald eventually, anyways, you know. But like
Not everyone.
if you're yeah, not everybody, but if you're going bald to like do bikini, you're tripping.
yeah.
Yeah. You tripping, yeah.
Yeah, for
That's true.
sure.
I would agree with that one for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah. That's
yeah,
wild.
that is funny.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more like I don't know. Personally, I'd like to see more the competition levels start to increase, the caliber of competition start to increase in Hawaii. I think because of social media, it's kind of got watered down a little bit. In my personal opinion, Mark, we've been around the circuits since freaking the land before time. So we've
Yeah.
seen the evolution of bodybuilding come and go as well
Yeah.
too. So that's just my personal opinion. I'd like to see I you know we talk about Angela being a phenomenon on stage, just a pure athlete. Her even her come out show freaking amazing. I don't think I've seen very many girls come out like that on a
And she
come out
turned pro
show.
in the open, right?
She turned pro and open.
Yeah, see, so
And
that's one thing too, is like I mean, if you can turn pro in the open, like that's that's awesome because I
Mhm.
feel like a lot of people like turn pro in the Masters, and that's still awesome too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from anybody, but the competition as you get older does get a
and
little
she turned
easier.
pro at a very hard, prestigious show. She turned pro at USA's. That those shows, competitor wise, in all divisions, we're talking about 1,000 to 1,200 applicants alone in just that weekend. I was there with her that show weekend, so in support of her national show, and it was amazing. We all know Angela's like 4 feet
Yeah.
8, if on a good day, maybe
Something.
Yeah. But got like
something very
six foot
short.
six energy.
She was yeah, on stage, like where I was sitting right in the middle of the auditorium when they were lining up all the overall girls, or even in her division, like the short class,
Yeah.
I already knew she was like standout, first one, first call out, right in the middle. When they came out for overalls, I was like, holy shit! You
Mm.
see all the tall, like friggin'
Yeah.
E class girls, and this Angela like this. I'm like, but like she was completely lights out at that show. I was like, fuck. I've never
Yeah.
seen that for a long time out of Hawaii.
Yeah, and I feel like with
That's
Angela
cool.
too, like I
Yeah.
feel like as far as fitness goes, I mean Mark's been in it for a long time too, and even Jed, you too. But yeah, I feel like Angela, like Yeah, definitely looks the part. She's constantly been involved
Hmm.
since I've ever been involved, at least, and I know way before that too, and she's definitely dedicated. She cares about what she does, and I feel like that's very important. And I feel like if there was anybody to take over the NPC, I feel in Hawaii, like I feel like she would be a good
I'm rooting
person.
for her too.
I feel like she would be a good person because I feel like she definitely genuinely cares about the sport and about the culture, even though she does jujitsu now and all this kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
she still lifts and she still has muscle and
Hmm.
she still looks great. Yeah.
Thank you for mentioning that as well too. If you guys don't know who we're talking about IFBB pro figure girl Angela Yamashita. She is also too one of the NPC judges. I think by far she is probably the most involved judge
Yeah,
in
for sure.
Hawaii
Giving
in this
feedback,
yes, in this sport.
if she sees you
She
at the
gives back a
gym, she'll
lot.
like give you a couple minutes of her time and talk to you. Yeah, she's
She not only looks the part, she plays the part, she is
yeah,
the part. She's
yeah.
not just doing it for oh, like I have this image to protect or this. That's her complete
Yeah,
lifestyle.
no, for
Hmm.
sure. She makes
Yeah,
money off of training people,
yep.
like that's her whole thing is like fitness. So as far as like fitness in Hawaii and how long she's been doing it, like there's a picture of her at Designer Body and she looks like completely different because she was like so much younger too, like it made her
Yeah, I
facial
was
structure
I
look
was with her
Thank
different
at
and
her
you.
everything.
first
Yeah.
show. I was
Yeah,
with her at her first show
Yeah. It was
actually.
like a silver and
Ikaika.
purple bikini, I
It was
believe.
Ikaika.
It was like
Yeah.
outside, she
And
was
then
doing a little pose.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
that was I think they were doing the men's physique. That was the first time men's physique, and then I had entered it because I had taken like 3 years off or 4 years off something, and it was men's physique, and then I was doing it, and then I had known her already, right? And then we were back. Then I was oiling her, getting her all ready to go for her
Yeah.
first show.
Hmm.
Yeah, and she needed to get tighter, but she looked good, but she
Yeah.
still wasn't there. But it was funny because just that
Yeah.
was her first show
Yeah.
ever did.
Ikaika.
Ikaika.
Oh man.
We did it. Yeah, that was
Yes.
funny.
I've never done an Ikaika.
I had
Yeah,
one guy at the same show, so I have the two of them in a picture together on my phone. It's an amazing picture. She still looks
yeah,
freaking lights out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're
yeah,
talking about you, Angela. Get on the show so people know who we're talking about.
Right.
yeah, for real. Good times, man. Well, anyway, when you guys are out there driving, just think about what I said about
Especially while it's raining.
Yeah. Think about the guy's
raining,
house when you're flying over the speed bump.
pedestrians, yes, flying over cameras,
Right.
tracking your speed, yes,
Roid road
and
rage.
road rage, yes. Say
Yes.
that quick, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Paradise Pump.